I just got back from my 14-day Southeast Asia trip. Let's unpack. Now, to preface the video, my suitcase is on my bed. I do plan on changing my sheets as soon as I'm done with this video. I also wiped down and quickly sanitized my bag and the wheels and everything as well. I wanted to unpack, go through with you guys what I really ended up using, what I regret, what I don't regret, and also all of the souvenirs that I got, and we'll also just put away the souvenirs at the end together. I traveled with my July suitcase. This is the checked expandable that I traveled with in the color moss, and then I also had a little backpack like this for the flight, but we're gonna unpack everything. Nothing really has been touched. I got back on Saturday morning. It's currently like Monday midday-ish, and I haven't touched a single thing. I was so exhausted after coming back from the trip. I just tried to maximize time with the baby, but now I'm kind of at the stage where I desperately need stuff from the bag. Like my hair straightener is in here, a bunch of my skincare is in here, so I need things from my bag, and there's just no way around it. Opening up this side first, and we have my skincare baggie. On this side of the bag, we actually have like quite a few souvenirs and books and things like that, and things that I purchased. One thing that again, also I absolutely did not use was any of my Kindle accessories. I didn't really end up reading my Kindle at all. I was doing a graphic audio re-listen of A Court of Mist and Fury. That's a second book in the Accessory or Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I don't think I picked up my Kindle one time. I wouldn't say I regret bringing it, because in every single trip that I've gone on this year, I was obsessed with my Kindle. I didn't even watch the in-flight entertainment. When we went to Europe last time, I think I read like 3 books in like 10 days. When I went to Japan with my Kindle, I read like also 3 books in like 5 or 6 days. So like I definitely anticipated that I was going to use it, because in all of my previous trips I have, but because I was doing this audiobook re-listen, and I also wasn't like really into any book when we started the trip. In this bag, I also have a bunch of other things that I didn't use. So throughout the trip, when I found things that like, okay, I'm not using this, skip, pass, or whatever, I just put everything into this little bag right over here, just to kind of get it out of the way, so I wasn't like pulling it out every single time we had to unpack. So in here, I have my electric toothbrush. I did use this solidly for the first half of the trip, but then it ran out of battery. So I think for any trips, I would say, that are longer than 7 days or longer than a week, I won't be bringing this, and I'm just gonna bring a little like biodegradable, one of those reusable just toothbrushes. Okay, this little fan my sister got for me, but it didn't really work. It kept overheating in the heat, and it was like 45 degrees all the time when we were there, so it just never worked. I have another fan that's not here, it's somewhere, that I did use, and I would say it was beneficial, but like not always. Since I'm vlogging, like did I want to hold up this fan all the time? So I probably wouldn't bring a fan next time if I'm going to be vlogging the trip, because I'm holding my camera, I'm holding the fan, sometimes I'm looking up the Google Maps, and it just didn't get used as much as I thought it would. Then I also brought along for my iPad this little folding keyboard, and I didn't end up using this at all. And on that note, when I bring out my iPad, I got a new iPad case, like just to kind of refresh my iPad, and I did not enjoy this iPad case whatsoever. It was so flimsy. I immediately regretted not having my Apple iPad case with the keyboard on it. So next time I'm definitely going to be bringing that instead. But then I also realized I didn't use my iPad all that often. The only time we really use the iPad is to watch Netflix, funnily enough. And I thought I was going to get a bunch of work done. I was going to do all of this stuff, and I didn't end up doing any of that. Okay, one side is all done. Okay, this side was mainly like souvenirs and things, so not too much stuff going in the laundry. Any of like the new outfits that I bought. So in our last days when we were in Da Nang, we decided to stop by Hoi An, and that's the place where there's like all these famous tailors. So I got a few outfits made. I'm gonna get them actually sent to dry cleaning. This Lululemon bag came in handy with the backpack. I like to have, like, if I'm having a backpack or even like a carry-on suitcase, I always like to have a small bag where I put like my passport and everything, so I don't have to open up the big thing all the time. I can just like reach for it. Similar with the backpack, I hate having to like move the backpack to the front, open up all of it. This one has like buckles on it as well. Open up all of it and then find my passport right at the bottom or right at the back or something. So I always like to have a little small bag. However, one thing that I definitely do recommend, actually regret bringing is so many bags. And I just realized that like when I'm doing these trips with my sister, we have just like a different like focus. We are focused on like going out, shooting content, a lot of early mornings, and I don't like to have to constantly like switch between bags all the time. And like the bags that I did bring, it's not like I had one like dark bag, one light bag, one bright bag or something like that, or like one huge tote bag or something like that. I literally had 2 mini bags. So like this one and then this one. These were my two mini-ish bags. And then I had this one, which is the Stod. I just like to call it a bucket bag. And I had this one. And like if you notice, they're like a similar-ish size. This one actually ends up holding a lot more, but they're a similar color. So it's just like, it's not like, I mean, it wouldn't matter, to be honest with you, really, which one I wore for the day. This one was, I felt like a little bit more just like went with everything, because this one sometimes if the white of the outfit and this didn't match, it could be off, but this one was like a nice beige tan neutral color, and it just ended up fitting like a lot more in here. This is just from H&M. It's like a Prada knockoff, but I regret bringing like 4 little bags plus this Prada backpack. Yeah, it was just like really not necessary. In this Stod bag, like when I was coming home, I just packed all of my tech accessories in here, and that's like another regret. Next time I will definitely have my own bag for all of my tech stuff. I thought I was saving space by not having a tech bag and like just dumping everything in like an already existing bag, but what would happen is on the trip when I would want to use this bag, or sometimes I would stuff everything in this bag, is when I would want to use either of these bags, I would have to dump all of my tech stuff out like on like the bed or on like a random table or something, and it would just create a mess, and then I have to obviously pack it all back in at the end as well. So if I just had a little tech bag where I could just keep everything in that bag and like take what I needed and put stuff back, that would have been so much easier. And usually I do have like a mini little tech bag, but I just thought, I'm saving space, I'm being efficient. I really truly wasn't. On that note, this time also I didn't use packing cube. Definitely regret doing that because my bag became like a minefield, I want to say, like just like lots and lots of loose little items, and I wish I had just organized with like how I did for Europe. I had like outfits I was going to wear on like the first half, outfits I was going to wear for the second half of the trip. I had like my cardigans, I had my PJs in one thing. I had like, you know, like things were just like a lot more sorted, and I wish I did that. I do have enough packing cubes. I just don't know why. I just decided no packing cubes. I have these compression packing cubes from July and they're really good. They fit so much in. I was able to fit all of my dresses into one packing cube. Not this one, but another like larger size one. This one I just kept for, it's supposed to be for your shoes. One thing that I love is like just like my outfits that I brought. I love that I just went out there. I bought like all summery fun outfits. I applaud myself for doing that because I feel like it just makes you feel so much better when you're like just well dressed and like you're looking cute in photos, and you have cute photos afterwards to like save and share and put up and things like that, like up on your wall. It's not even just like up on social media, and just share with family and friends. I am so glad that I did that. When I went on my Europe trip, I did not do that. I brought like tights and like pullovers and sweats and things like that because I just wanted to be comfy, and I felt a little like blah when I did that. So I'm so glad I had like cute little outfits. All right, we are all done with unpacking this suitcase. I am going to wipe it down, probably put it in the sun for a little bit. There's like a nice like warm sun. Do a little vacuum, wipe the inside down as well. Another thing that I regret is not having travel size skincare. My shampoo and my conditioner and some of like my serums, I had like the full size versions of them, and I really should have researched online and seen like what had like a mini version. So for example, I bought, it's a Paula's Choice 8% AHA gel exfoliant. They do have a little mini travel size version, and I didn't know, like, it's not like I didn't, no, I don't want to say I didn't know that, I just didn't look it up, and I just didn't prep beforehand. And then similarly with all this Aveda set, I have 3 items here, like a mask, a shampoo, and a leave-in treatment. My hair gets really like frizzy and kind of unmanageable and like just like really knotted and stuff, and this really helps. And I always, since kind of giving birth, have started to bring my own like shampoo and conditioner. The hotel ones like just don't do it for me, and I always need a deep conditioning mask every time. So I don't regret bringing these, because without these I would have been lost. I did do a trip this year without my own shampoo and mask, and my hair was just so horrible the entire time, and it just made me feel really poorly about myself. So I don't regret bringing them, but I do wish that I did my research from well beforehand, like a month beforehand, and purchased the mini versions of these so I could bring them on my trip. My goal for next time is definitely going to be to get everything to fit into like this one bag. That's it. One thing that I struggle with is a deodorant. I can't find like a mini little deodorant like this. I am a naturally more sweaty person, and I need like a good like strength. I have particular ones, and if I don't use them, I just, it's not a good vibe. One thing also I do regret bringing is this little mini razor. I just didn't, like, usually all my dresses are like midi dresses, and I just didn't, I thought I'd be shaving all the time, and I really wasn't. One deep regret also that I have for the trip is that my tech situation, again, I tried to really slim down on like the number of chargers and things that I was bringing with me, and I realized that was like a really big headache, because I continuously was worried about what was charging and what was not, what needed to be charged, and I didn't have enough chargers for all of my devices. I was constantly rotating things. Next time when I'm traveling as well, I'm gonna bring a little, like a mini version. Her one has like a lot of sockets, just a little mini version with maybe like 3 sockets. I just placed an order for it on Amazon with like some USB power points, and make sure that each device that I'm bringing that I need has its own charging cable and or plug, and sort that out. So oh, there's a few little things that I didn't use, like my remote clicker. I actually didn't use because my sister was taking all my photos, or I took photos on my Insta360. This little clamp mount, which I usually use to take photos or videos of myself at the airport or on a flight, I didn't use because, again, I use my Insta360 a lot. This time, you guys will see in the vlogs, if you watched it, a lot of cool like Insta360, like third person looking footage. So just didn't use it like this time, and I probably will stop just bringing this all together. Also, this time I did bring my Rode mic, and I didn't end up using it because I was mainly vlogging on my iPhone 15, and this mic doesn't plug directly into the iPhone 15, so it just ended up being kind of a little useless. It didn't really end up using it, but that was kind of maybe like it in terms of like the tech. This light I ended up using a lot to vlog at night. When I was like end of day, I would just put this on to like next to my phone, and then it was perfect for like the bathroom or like dark hotel rooms. I will definitely be bringing this light again. Also, this hair straightener from Dyson, it has, like, this is the first hair straightener that I've used that could be used cordless. I'm sure there's a few other ones, but this was so good. I'm going to be bringing this on every single trip I go on. It is, I like to use that, the Dyson styler with like the hot comb and whatever. However, I feel like that's so bulky and it's so big, and there's all of these different attachments, and I usually don't end up like trying to curl my hair when I'm traveling anyway, but I would just like it. And also remember, like, my hair is really fine, it's really thin. It might look a little bushy right now, but it's actually really fine and thin, so I could just run this through my hair like about for 10 minutes, and it would be nice and straight, and I love the look. I did it before jumping on the flight. Absolutely loved it. Like, I use this almost every day. The charge for me would last about 3 days, again, because I have just like easily straightenable hair. If your hair takes a little bit more work to straighten, it probably won't last you as long, but I would just literally like charge it when I was out for the day, and then have like 3 days worth of charge. So you do have to carry the charger for this. The charger is a little bit bulky, but loved this Dyson like with all my heart. This is the Country Road bag I was talking about. I know it looks massive, but it folds down really small. My sister also keeps a it with a little lock, and I think that's genius. So we just like locked it this time. Haven't used like a physical lock in like such a long time, but yeah, we just locked it when we put it in. Really nothing valuable in this, just like old laundry. I definitely also should have brought a little like extra packing cube to put all my laundry away into. I really don't like my used clothes mixing in with my unused clothes, so I really wish I had done that. Completely forgot. Usually the July suitcase has like a little pouch where like you put the laundry bag. It also comes with a laundry bag when you buy it, but I just think I took it out for one of my previous trips and then didn't put it back in. So these were the prints that I bought. This is Vietnam, we have Laos, and then I think over there we have Cambodia. So I'm gonna put that to the side as well. Also, you guys can see like most of the prints, the way I packed them, they came completely flat. Nothing was damaged as well. I love buying souvenirs on trips. Like coming back from like a trip, you already feel a little like meh. One thing that I love the fact that I got back into reading is that one, I get to shop for books now, and then also bookmarks. I have my 4 little magnets. I thought I bought another one. Like I saw something somewhere and I bought it. Let's go outside and then we'll put the magnets and little things away. All right guys, we're in my kitchen. Gonna start by putting away some of the magnets. I have 1 magnet from each country that we visited. Actually no, for Cambodia I have a second magnet. I bought the first one and then I found another one later on. I usually we'll just do 1 magnet and that is it. I don't like to buy like multiple magnets or magnets in each city. It's just 1 magnet per country. However, this was like the best one I could find initially. And then I found this one, which was like a lot more fitting, since like the one thing that we did in Cambodia was go to Angkor Wat. And yeah, okay, so I'm gonna put this up. Okay, the magnets that I try to get is either of food from the country or like little cityscape. Anything that's not travel related goes on this side because we have like other little magnets as well. And then everything that's travel related goes on this side. Next magnet we're gonna do is this one of Laos. It was actually really hard to find good souvenirs in Laos. It's just like a good thing, I guess, because it's not that touristy. If you are there, I do recommend getting it from the airport. I just felt like they had better options and you were in aircon. Oh, actually airport or the night market. Let me correct myself. Then this next one I have is of Hanoi, and this is of Train Street. And we spent like such a long time at Train Street, so. And then we have last one of this really nicely made one of Taiwan. It's so nicely made. This is like metal. The one from Laos is made of wood. The Hanoi one is ceramic. Just I think the Cambodia one. Next thing, this is the photo wall that I was mentioning all through my trip. These are the little paintings, and I did realize like after I came home that my paintings are a little bit too small. I thought it was gonna be like the perfect fit, but they're a little bit too small. But I'm gonna put them in anyway, and then I will get some like matching paper on the background or something like that to kind of fill up the little empty space. To fit it in, I'm going to remove something that I don't like. Okay, it's not that I don't like this one, but I have a very similar William Morris painting. All of these paintings, by the way, I just got them on Etsy, and then I just like printed them out myself and stuck them on this IKEA frame. The IKEA frame is called the Fiskbo, and it is the 40 by 50 centimeter one. This painting or the artwork from before has like this white back. So I'm just gonna use that. Okay, so I'm just gonna flip that around, and then we'll do this Vietnam one first. So when I buy the paintings, it's again 1 from each city, and I buy it in like this portrait way, not like a landscape image, because everything here is portrait. And then I try to make sure that it has some significance to something that we did. And this one, it's not like we went vegetable. sorting or something, but I like the little green pattern as well. So I tried to also make it green because my initial idea for this space was to have all of these paintings be like in a green theme, and they actually are supposed to be, but when I got these printed, the printer is so bad that he just like, I think, ran out of green ink in his printer and he just gave me whatever ink came out, which was in most cases blue. Okay, I know it's not gonna look perfect because it's not the correct size, and maybe one day in life I'll get like all of these paintings like framed in their correct size, but for right now we're gonna use what we have. If you watch also my travel vlogs, I do mention like where I picked up each of the paintings, and this is this one. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I wish this background color obviously match the color of this parchment here, but that's something I'm gonna fix up like later on. So initially this wall behind me initially was supposed to be like artwork that was significant to me, meant something to me, and it just turned out that I didn't have a lot of that. So I wanted to do things like from artists where I've actually seen their work. So for example, when we went to Austria, we saw The Kiss by Gustav Klimt, and I remember like we were just really like fascinated by it, me and my sister, when we went on that trip, and that's just like a really great memory for us. So that's why I have a few of Gustav Klimt's work. I think we also saw like all of the water lilies in Paris, like the big water lilies in Paris as well. We saw Matisse, me and my sister, in Sydney, actually it was, and then Henry Rousseau. I don't think we've seen him actually, but I just liked his work. Not that I know that much, like I just think I liked it on Etsy or Pinterest or something. So that's why he is here. And then I also just like having these like botanical prints. It just takes me back to my days when I was a full-time florist. That looks so cute. I remember in university, I had a friend, her name is Sarah, and her family used to travel a lot, and in their dining room they had like a wall from like, and it was literally from the ceiling to the floor just covered in artwork from like the different places that they had visited, and it was just like, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And they just said like, oh, every time we travel, they were like, you know, the type of people that would travel to like the same place over and over again. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or like a bad thing. I'm just like, there's like different types of travelers, like me, someone who's trying to see a different country each time, has a country cat goal. But I think like they really love to go to like Italy and Greece or something. So they had a lot of paintings of Italy and Greece, and I think that's also such a fun way to travel, where you so deeply explore a country that it almost becomes like another home to you. But yeah, they had just so many paintings, and that's just something that's always stuck with me. And at that time in university, I never traveled. The only place I traveled was like, we obviously lived in Australia, and we would just travel to India once every 4 or 5 years, not longer, to see my grandparents, and that was it. We never went anywhere else. So sometimes just to also like, and that memory of seeing her dining room and being like, whoa, you're so lucky to be able to travel and collect these paintings and stuff. And now to have like my own little wall where I'm putting up my own paintings. I have traveled to like 44 countries at this point, and that's just so wild that like I literally up until like the age of maybe 18 went to like 2 or 3 countries or something. And now to have the opportunity to travel as much, as frequently, as luxuriously that I like, and like get to come home and put these up, like what a blessing, like what a blessing. Anyway, let's go put away the bookmarks, and then I'll come and I'll put these paintings away as well. All right, I'll show you guys what the final other 2 paintings look like on the wall when I put them up, but let's go ahead and put away our bookmarks. I have a little plastic, acrylic, plexiglass, whatever name you want to give it, it's plastic at the end of the day, box that I repurposed, and you guys can see at the front it says currently reading. So this is where all of my books that I am currently reading get put. So usually I'm reading a few books at a time. So at least 3-4 books, especially if I'm reading like nonfiction. I like to just have a few on hand. So if I get bored with one, I can just keep switching. So I'll read like 10 pages, switch, 20 pages, switch, etc. Or sometimes, like for example, this one, Pelican Brief by John Grisham. It takes me a little bit of time to get into and get started with the book. So I just like to have a few at the same time so I don't get into like a book rut. But anyway, so that's what this is. And I just put all of my bookmarks in here. So when I pick up a book, I can choose one of my bookmarks. I actually have a few of them. I remember when I first started just getting back into reading, I struggled to find like good bookmarks, like online and stuff. So when I started like traveling again this year, the first thing that I did was start picking up bookmarks. Before I put the bookmarks away, I'll show you all of them. First one is, I'll show you from Taiwan, okay? So the first one that we have is this one. It's like a metal one with this cabbage icon at the top, and this is like a carved, like at the museum where I picked this up from, they have like a carved cabbage that is made of jade, and it's like the star piece at the museum. And the reason why I actually picked this up is if you watched Avatar the cartoon, like Avatar the Last Airbender cartoon, there's a guy and he's always screaming, "My cabbages!" And it's such a fun, like I loved that cartoon growing up, or like even now I'll, like if it was available somewhere in India, I put it on in the background. Love, love, love that cartoon, and it was such a good cartoon, man. But yeah, so when me and my sister, we saw it, we just kept screaming, "My cabbages!" You usually have like a little, like I said, like a little holder for them, but I think my husband has taken that. So this old candle jar is usually where I have my pens, but we're just gonna put it in here. And it looks like that. And then I keep it right over here. And then I can, whenever I start a new book, I can select a new bookmark as well. And that's almost so much fun to do. One of my favorite things to collect, because I love to travel, I love to read, and I love having like, oh, I picked this up in Vietnam, like, or we had such a great time there. This is a little souvenir as I'm reading like my book, and just like to remember the trip throughout, like when I'm back. So that is going to be a wrap for this unpacking video. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't caught up on all my travel vlogs, I did a vlog for every single place that we visited, every single city that we visited. I'm gonna link it right over here, so go ahead and check that out. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.